All right, so here is a recap of what I think is the most important stuff you guys should have gotten out of this lesson. And so, first and foremost, you need to know that the center of the Earth is varied in composition, okay? And so we have a couple things here. Now, the outermost layer we know to be the crust, okay? This is brittle, hard. This is where we live, okay? So if we're standing on top of it there. Now, we also have basically what we call the mantle, okay? Now, the mantle has a couple different layers within it that we're going to talk about in just a second. And again, remember, this is the layer that lets plate tectonics actually happen, okay? We're going to talk about those specific layers and what they do in a little bit. Then we get to the outer core, which is liquid, again, and then the inner core is solid rock, okay? Now, if I take this segment here, okay, and if I actually took that and blew that up, okay, to a much larger portion, this is actually going to be a couple of layers, okay? This top layer that we're looking at right here, again, is the crust, okay, and then this bottom layer we know to be the mantle. And it's actually the upper mantle, okay? But what the upper mantle actually does is it has these two layers within it. The top layer we call the lithosphere. Okay, and the bottom layer we call the asthenosphere. Okay, the lithosphere is hard and brittle. Okay, and the asthenosphere has, again, that special property that allows convection currents to move it. It's kind of like a fluid. It's a liquid, but it's also a solid. It's solid enough to support weight, but it's liquid enough to flow. So we're going to call that a fluid. Now, when we come back, you guys are going to actually go through a lab with cornstarch and water, and you're going to learn how an object can be like a fluid. So I'm going to write this down, and this is going to make sense more after Monday or after Tuesday. Okay, so we're going to talk about how the asthenosphere is a fluid like the cornstarch lab. Now, outside of that, the only other thing that I want you guys to know about, okay, is that the crust plus our lithosphere. Okay, if you take those two layers and you add them together, that's what makes up our plates. Okay. The asthenosphere, however, is the source for plate tectonics. Okay. So that's why plate tectonics works. So again, this is a diagram of the outer core, crust, mantle, inner core, all that stuff, but the real important stuff for our plate tectonics purposes is what's going on here. Okay, I would familiarize yourself again with that reading that I gave you on the lithosphere and the asthenosphere, but then also know why they're different, why they're important, and so forth. Lastly, I would be sure that you can reproduce this drawing in some way, shape, or form. So be able to do that, okay? Again, this is what you're looking to be able to do. Now, you can draw it in your own way, but I just need you to know all the information on this sheet, okay? That's a recap of this learning target. Hopefully you guys are good on it. And if you're not, shoot me an email. All right.